Hey guys, what's up? So, today we're doing a football video. Obviously, I try to put on my shirt that says linebacker because that makes you guys realize that I'm talking about football stuff. My name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. And that's in Europe. I live in Amsterdam. I live in the Netherlands. I play Euroball. Every time I do one of these little videos, I like to bring out, answer some comments, answer some things, tell you about some news going on here in Europe, and then get onto the meat of the video, which is the title, which will definitely be how to figure out what kind of position you want. This generally is going to be geared towards the idea of a few youth players that comment on my previous videos and a lot of European players, because a lot of people are gonna want to get out as soon as lockdowns are done, and they may want to say, hey, let's try play this other weird sport. You only live once sort of thing. So might be kind of an idea as to how to figure out what you would be good at for a position. In terms of comments, don't really have any right now. Football's not really big in the United States, plus lockdowns, not everything's going on. I did have some questions yesterday on my live stream that was Baker versus Roethlisberger. Nothing beyond that one. Just put these two up against each other. I had no idea what they were talking about, and I basically said Baker Mayfield is cuter. Ben Roethlisberger is older than me, and he can go, he's probably a good quarterback, but that's it. He's not, no, it's, plus, but Baker Mayfield has that, bad boy sort of thing going on. I have to go with that one, I guess. I don't know. A bunch of other things that I was talking about on the live stream yesterday that I try to talk about football a lot is that, and this is moving into the news section, we have Austria, which played some games last week. I watched the game for the Danube Dragons and the Gras Giants. My Dutch lessons are coming out. I said Gras versus Gras, the difference in the language there. They played their game. Vienna Vikings also played a game, but that was on Saturday. This weekend, it's currently Easter. It's Easter Day today. It's Easter Sunday. And so nobody's playing any games right now. Austria, however, did yesterday go through its national team football camp. That is on the Touchdown Austria. I saw that a lot on Touchdown Austria Instagram. If you guys want to go follow that, I'll put a link below. And following a lot of them, kind of watching the videos that came out of that one. That was cool. Next week, Austria and Italy will actually be starting up. That will be April 11th. Okay, go back. Yes, the 11th. That is next Sunday. But anyways, yeah. So Italy, if you want to find out the schedule and if you're into Italy as a thing, that would be the FIDAF. You can find that on Instagram. I'm doing a lot on Instagram and seeing their stuff because I'm going through the Insta stories about various things. A lot of the teams post to Instagram. They're not really good about Twitter and the fleets, and I'm taking breaks from Facebook, so jumping onto Instagram. My corona hair is getting out of control. My lockdown hair. We can set appointments. I'm just being a little bit about the whole thing. But anyways, so what else? Oh, ELF. Talked a lot about that on the live stream yesterday. Apparently, they're currently looking at 6 German teams, 1 Spanish team, and a Polish team. I don't know why there are other countries not getting involved, but maybe they're being a little cautious about a new league starting up, especially a professional one. I know this is probably pushed a lot by Germany, but the fact that Austria is not getting involved, nor Italy, is a little bit weird. We'll have to see how that one goes. Hopefully they're going to start sometime in the summer, fall, but they first have to get a lot of their teams pushed together, because currently they've got the Panthers coming out of Poland, and the Barcelona Drax out of Spain. I don't know which German teams sometimes some of these teams are picking up old NFL Europe names, like the Hamburg Sea Devils. Why, in case you guys are ever wondering, there's the Hamburg Blue Devils, is because they can't they couldn't take the name from the NFL, which was the Sea Devils, so they chose the Blue Devils because the sea is the blue, whatever. That's also a team. Also, the Hamburg Huskies are also a team too. They're higher in the GFL. I don't know what's going on with the GFL right now. I know a lot of teams lost a lot of players because they were idle too long and lockdowns and this, and like Elmshorn Fighting Pirates were up at GFL 1, but a lot of their coaches left and players went off to other teams because league stuff. Anyways, so there's all that. If you guys want to join, next Saturday would be mostly in the morning, early afternoon for the United States. Right here on this YouTube channel. It's 6 o'clock for my time, so that puts you at like noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. So right here I'm going to be addressing a lot of European viewers that maybe want to pick up football as soon as lockdowns, as soon as we start getting out of the pandemic area. And teams start picking up their practices, and you're just like, you only live once, sort of thing, like I said earlier. Although in this video, which kind of started off talking about specifically linebacker videos, a lot of people ask, oh, here's my height, here's my weight, what position should I play? And I'm like, I don't know. You're 15, 150 pounds, and 5'10". It sounds like a receiver to me, I guess. I don't know. If you were 25 doing that, I'd probably say be a receiver, but all depends on how fast you run. If you can't run for the life of you, you're probably going to be a good defensive end, sort of thing. Like, and that's my irk, I guess we'll call it, with a lot of people, is they're utilizing their physicality, their physical qualities to define their position. I agree. If you are a walking stick, you should not be a lineman. If you are a pumpkin with legs, you probably should not be a wideout. You know, there are extremes of body, but a lot of people look like me. You know, I'm like barely 6 feet tall. I'm over 200 pounds. I have muscle. I've got fat. We're not ripped abs, yada yada. So what position do you play? Whatever you want. And I'm not saying just pick a position and go after it. You can, but you have to realize you need to specifically train for that position. Like, I tried to be a wide receiver at one point. I'm not really good. At the time, I wasn't really good at running, let alone this whole like hand-eye coordination catching balls. I was really good at hitting them and like getting a fist up and slapping them down. But as a receiver, you're supposed to, you know, catch it, tuck it in your arm, not slap it down. So that's what one of my friends was like, you should play defense. So tried a couple positions out on defense and realized that I'm much better at running forward. Part of the issue is not so much like, what position do you want to play? Well, I have previous videos in my Football 101 which refers for non-American players if they're curious about which positions. And it's sort of like, hey, if you want to like be the person that catches the ball or throws the ball or has possession of the ball and scores points and gets your happiness out of that, go ahead, be on offense. There are half the positions on offense are those general people. That's the design of offense. But if you watch NFL or if you watch college games or you watch the games here in Europe and you see people that are just hitting really hard and knocking someone to the ground and basically making that poor receiver fear for his own mortal coil, you need to play defense. And that's kind of the thing. If you want to try to, you know, get the points, does defense score points? Yes, they do. We call them pick sixes. Does offense get to hit? Yeah, they do. Especially during pick sixes. Because the tables get turned at that point to an extent. That's the thing. If you want to like run, dodge, catch, you know, get it open, catch a ball, and then run it as far as you can and get taken down, but try to be squirrely and evade things, that's good for offense, you know. And if that appeals to you, go be offense. But if you want to like take the more aggressive side of football and like mess somebody up, you got to play defense. Now, if you're skinny and you're short, maybe not so much alignment. Like like I said, there are definite physicalities necessary for certain positions. But it all depends on who you're playing with too. You could be 5'10", 200 pounds. And if you're in junior high, you're going to be a lineman. Whereas when you're in adult level sports, you probably could be a linebacker or a tight end or a running back or a fullback even or whatnot. Usually, you know, so it's like, are you large for your age or are you small for your age group? Like we have a receiver who's like, I'll try to put this in American terms. He's like, what, 5'9"? He's a little shorter than me and he's like super skinny. But man, that kid can run. Kevin can run, and he's agile, and he's just like your perfect wideout. Not a slot receiver. Kevin's a wideout. Like I could see him and Willie being on opposite sides of the field, just tearing up everything. Just like, look at these two. They're open, and our quarterbacks are like, you know. And that's also a fairly specified position, quarterback. If you like to be the thinker and do that one, you can train your arm. You can get to throwing. The whole act of throwing the ball is not hard to do. Getting the vision for a quarterback, that's the hard part to do. That's kind of what I'm getting at overall with like, what position should you play? It's not necessarily what position do you want someone else to put you in, because they may put you in a position that, much like a workplace, is what the job, you know, is what the job needs. And to be fair, if you got a whole butt ton of defensive backs, which are in the defense and they're in the defensive backfield, and you don't have a lot of linebackers, well, maybe you're going to have to play linebacker. But if you want to play defensive back and you're stuck playing in the linebacker position, you can be an offensive, you can be an outside linebacker or even a strong safety. So there are multiple positions that one can play that fulfill certain roles but still blend into something else. This goes on offense too. Let's say you're a big, you know, square guy. You got one of those, I'm a construction guy. You are a, you know what I mean, that kind of guy. But you want to also run and catch the balls. What we got? Running back, fullback, and tight end. Those are definitively roles for your larger guys on offense. Don't say that only larger guys can be running backs. Willie was a great running back in D1 college, and he is small, smaller than me, and skinny. I don't want to say he's like short, but he's like 5'9" and probably like 180 pounds, and he was a D1 running back. And he is just speedy and he's squirrely. So there are a lot of positions available, but you know, so find a position that you like. I have a whole playlist that describes all the positions, but again, don't think that your physicality binds you to a certain position. Again, sometimes it will. A lot of European teams have a lack of larger guys, so if you happen to be a larger guy, perhaps you may take on a lineman role, but I'll guarantee you this one, European American football linemen are the biggest, cuddliest group of guys you will ever meet. Like, they are like the best. They're the most tolerant of all the football players I have ever met. Like, you've got the smack talking DBs, but you talk to a lineman, they're just like, "What's up, dude?" And they will say it in like the weird. I've had French, I've had Romanian, I've had German linemen. They're just like cuddly little bears, and you're like, this is great. So that's that for this video. I hope some of this helped you realize that you aren't necessarily bound to a position, but you should play a position that you like, because there's the term, anybody can play football. I have a French guy on my Instagram who is one of your larger quarterbacks, and he's got a great arm and he's got the great vision, but he's probably 240 pounds, like 6'1". Like, you'd think this guy was a lineman, but nope, he's a quarterback and he's got an arm. But that's that. Catch you guys next week. If you have any questions, comment below. Bye.